Every time we hear this gospel of the loaves and the fishes, we normally get a homily about the Eucharist, because that's what it's all about. But today I was thinking, let's focus on a side of Jesus that we don't hear about too often. And I'd like to then focus on basically the first paragraph of today's gospel. What had happened? John the Baptist was just beheaded. How do you think Jesus was feeling? Now, John the Baptist was the cousin of Jesus. And not just a distant cousin, but he was close because Mary and Elizabeth were close. So Jesus hears about the death of his cousin. He's not in any mood. He needs some quiet time. He goes off to reflect. And when he gets to where he wants to go, what does he see? People waiting for him. That whole atmosphere is one that he, on one level he doesn't want to deal with it, but he knows that he has to. And that leads him to preach the word. Now, for our reflection, this is more of a reminder homily. For our reflection, what does that say about our faith? I was thinking about myself as a priest. There are certain days that I don't feel like going to Mass, just like you. There are certain days I don't feel like praying. There are certain days I just want to get away from everybody. But duty calls me back. A hospital call might come in. A funeral might come in. Somebody who's very distraught might come into the office needing to seek a priest. And I can easily say, no. I can easily say, I'm not going to Mass this morning. I can easily say, no, call me Monday morning. I don't want to deal with your problems now. But I don't. My duty calls me to be there. How does this apply to all of you? Well, on the practical level, all of you who have been parents with infant children, do you give them up, so to speak, so that you can have some quiet time? When they cry, just like that. I'm going to use you as an example. He just asked for mommy. Does mommy say, no, I don't want you at the moment? No. Mommy just took him in her arms. Because that's what mommies do. There may be a time when mommy really doesn't want to hold him. She gives him to daddy. The baby doesn't want that. He wants mommy. So she takes him back. There are times that we have to do what we have to do. Not because we want to do it, not because we're thrilled to do it, but because we have to do it. On the spiritual realm, there are times that we don't want to go to church. There are times that we don't want to pray. There are times that we don't want to be nice. But duty calls. Sure, you can say, I'm not going to Mass today. That will catch up to you. Sure, I don't want to be nice to people. That will catch up to you. The whole attitude that we need to have is that of Jesus Christ. If we follow in his footsteps, we do what we have to do in life, not for selfishness, but for selflessness. Like I said, this is a reminder homily. How have you been living the faith? Do you pray every day even when you don't want to? Do you go to church every Sunday when you don't want to? Are you nice to people when you don't want to be? Do you love when you'd rather hate? If we call ourselves Christian, that's a 24/7 job. Hopefully, we'll live up to that job so that we can live up to Christ. And if we live up to Christ, Christ will live up to us.